everybody, and welcome back to another session of Midweek Chapter with Wonder Girls. I'm Mabel.
And I'm Cheryl. Did everyone miss us last week? We are happy to be back live again.
Yes. Are you intrigued by our conversation earlier on about what our guests will be sharing with us? If you are, key in ART in the comments. That is art. This afternoon, we are happy to have Kuan Eng with us. Kuan Eng is currently an art teacher and a prison social worker.
Before we invite Kuan Eng online, allow me to share a little bit about ourselves if you are new to Travel Wonder. Travel Wonder is a licensed online and offline travel company based in Singapore, specializing in active holidays. Join us in the future if you are looking for cycling, hiking, or running vacations overseas. We can also plan all sorts of vacations that you desire, from romantic getaways, rest and relaxation trips, or even family fun trips. Our website is www.travel-wonder.com. Remember to check us out when you are ready to travel.
Please give us a like, comment, or share about this broadcast too.
We would like to announce the winner for our chatter 2 weeks ago. The winner for our live session is Paul Chen. Congratulations on winning a luggage belt sponsored by Uniworld River Cruises. We will be in touch with you via private message on the redemption of the gift.
This week, we are giving away another luggage belt sponsored by Uniworld River Cruises. This is the last one we have, so keep the engagement up to increase your chances of winning. Thank you very much for accompanying us for the past Wednesday afternoons. If you have already won a prize within the past 2 weeks, we will pass the chance of winning to another audience with the highest engagement so that everybody has a chance to win something. We will put the winner back into the draw after a 2 weeks break.
Nevertheless, please keep your comments and questions flowing in, regardless if you will win a prize today. Continue to keep us busy. Let us now welcome Kuan Eng online.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Kuan Eng.
Hello,
Hi,
Kuan Eng.
Cheryl.
Good
Hi,
afternoon to
Mabel.
you.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes.
Are you able to hear us? Okay.
How has your day
Good.
Oh, you asked me how my day been. Okay, good. Very nice weather. We did a bit of cycling and then in the morning, and then back here to chat with you girls.
A nice way, nice relaxing way to spend your day.
Yes.
So, Kuan Eng, I understand you used to be from the advertising industry.
Mm.
I heard that it was a very fast-paced industry to begin. Like, has it been very stressful? Will you be able to share more?
It is definitely a very fast-paced job. I started after graduating from Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts. So this was back in the early 90s. It's a very interesting job because you need to be creative, you need to be very quick, you work as a team. I think the job itself was very fulfilling. But it does take its toll on you because of the long hours and the stress.
Okay. So I heard, right, you left the full-time employment 12 years ago.
Yes.
What made you decide to leave this stable job, and what have you been busy with ever since you left advertising?
Right. So at some point in advertising, I decided to. I want to do something that is a bit more meaningful. Although I was actually quite good in advertising, selling credit cards, hotels, furniture, and all that. The thing is, I was looking for something more fulfilling. So I started exploring other professions. And the initial few that I came up with was counseling, social work, even psychology, or even Chinese physician. Yeah. So actually, when I took a break from advertising, I actually went traveling, and that's actually how I started travel sketching um, and taking sketch trips. So that was also a time where I was reassessing my new direction in my career. Mm.
That is quite a complete change of industry and expertise.
It is, it is. In fact, when I resigned from advertising, my peers, my colleagues were actually quite, I would say, shocked because I was doing pretty okay. So they were actually quite shocked that I did a like 180-degree turn. I actually even had a colleague, a peer from another agency who messaged me and said, I heard that you resigned. Do you have cancer? Yeah.
I thought you are sick.
Yeah, yes, yes. You know, because it's such a drastic decision,
Mhm.
and I wasn't upset with him. I could understand his train of thought. You know, like what would drive someone, you know, at this age and at this stage of his career to make such a drastic change. And he probably narrowed down to like a big illness, you know. And actually, my message to him was, no, I don't have cancer. And I do not want to wait to a point when I have cancer to make a decision like this. Yeah.
Although
So,
having said that, has it been difficult for you to let it go entirely and starting everything from scratch, especially at our age?
right. The answer is actually yes and no, because yes is partly the good thing of what advertising can give me. I mean, the money is good. So it's about letting go of all the luxuries that I could afford when I was in advertising. Actually, that's not really difficult for me to let go of. But the other thing is also, I think, more like venturing into the unknown. And that is the scary part, right? Like, what if I don't survive? You know, what if I go back to school, I study, I graduate, I go to social work, and I don't like the job? What if? There's always the what if.
Yeah.
And very often, sometimes when we are not sure, we are fearful of moving forward, we actually go back to the old job, and we rather stay in the known, although it's not fulfilling or it doesn't serve its purpose anymore. We rather stay in the known than to venture into the unknown.
I think this one we can stand by you because
Yeah.
when Mabel and myself left really a very good high paying job to start Travel Wonder, there's so many what if, but there is also the regret of what if we didn't try.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, it takes. I mean, it takes a lot of courage, because it's a lot easier to stay in the comfortable job,
Yes.
right? But it takes a lot of courage to jump.
Mm.
And no one can guarantee. No one can guarantee that it will work out.
Yes. Yes.
I still remember an ex-boss who told me this. He said, don't always look for guarantees, look for opportunities,
Which is true. Which is
right?
true.
Yeah.
Mm,
Very sound
Mm.
advice.
Like you look at this COVID pandemic is a very, very good fine example. You could be making a lot of money previously pre-COVID, but once this pandemic come, see
Yeah.
how many business has gone down,
mm,
how many business has already closed down. So it's
right,
like there is really no guarantee because there are a lot of factors in this world that we cannot control.
right,
That's
right.
true. And I think importantly is we must learn how to adapt to whatever situation that life throws us. You know?
Hmm,
Yeah. That is the only way we can survive. Lah.
Right,
definitely.
right.
So for advertising to art, sketching of art, it seems like you are a very artistic person because advertising you also need a lot of art thinking, I presume.
Yes, yes. Actually, when I still remember when I went for the entrance interview at the university when I went back to do my degree in social work, the dean of the department asked me. She said, "Wouldn't it be a waste of almost 20 years of advertising experience to start from scratch in social work?" I told her, I said, I don't see it as a waste because the creativity, the whole idea of thinking outside the box, of doing things differently,
Mm-hmm.
can be applied to social work. You know what I mean? It can be applied to the way I write a program,
Yes.
the way I plan activities for student care center. Kids can be a lot more interesting than the run-of-the-mill programs. And all these will actually come from the experience of in advertising experience, because we're always constantly trying to sell things to people from a different angle, to make it more interesting or to make it more engaging. All these help. So, and I'm glad that I'm able to take those skills and apply it to my social work programs, especially the art program for seniors.
Agree, fully agree. Today you are here to share more about sketch trips with us. So do you teach sketching to the public or to anybody who is interested?
Yes, I actually currently I'm doing different courses for elderly, and one of them, the slightly more advanced one, is a watercolor landscape.
Ah.
Right. So they learn the basics of landscape painting, and then towards the end of the course, I actually bring them to uh, where National Museum is, SMU is. We will paint a scene there, and then we'll review it in the last sessions. Later, you see some of their works.
Okay. When we first heard about these sketch trips, right? Or when I first heard from Mabel, I was like, what is this? I'm so intrigued to find out more. So
Right.
what made you decide to start capturing your trip memories through sketching?
Okay, actually, it started when I organized sketch trips for my Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts classmates. Because we were all art students, right? So some weekends or school holidays, I actually organized trips to the zoo or to Sentosa, and we because we're all art students, so we bring along our sketchbooks, and we made a trip out of it, and we did some drawings when we were there. So and then after graduating from Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts, and being totally absorbed by advertising, I actually, how should I say this? When I took a sabbatical from advertising, that's when I revisited uh, doing sketch trips.
Okay.
So I went back, I went to find my materials again, and I started taking very long trips to different parts of the world, and started drawing again.
Oh.
So, would you like to show our audience some of the sketches you did during your travel?
Sure, sure, sure. Let's start with a very simple trip I took to Bali.
Okay, hang on.
Right. So what you see here is now it's actually a very impromptu decision actually to draw on that trip. I actually bought when I reached Ubud. I actually decided to do to draw. So I actually bought a little sketchbook from their provision shops, and it cost me like 20 cents Sing. And I bought a black marker from the shop as well and started drawing. So what's nice about Bali is that the pace is very slow, so you can actually have a 2 hour lunch, and while I was drinking my avocado shake, I was drawing the little hut up across the restaurant. As you can see on the extreme left, it was a thatched hut. And then you have the cabinet that is in the middle, a stool that is at the bottom, center bottom. And I remember while I was drawing that stool in the middle, it was made of bamboo and cane and rattan. So after finished drawing that stool, I realized that I did not draw any nails or screws. And that's when I got curious and I asked the waiter, yeah, how come I don't see any nails or screws? And he told me that in Bali, as much as they can, they try to use joints and rattan to put the furniture together. And I was thinking, hey, if I had taken a photo of that stool, I might not have realized this, and I wouldn't have asked the waiter that question.
Agree.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Agree with you. You wouldn't have taken so much notice of the
Details.
surrounding or the place or even
Yes.
that object.
Yes. Yes. So sketching allows me to observe details and appreciate the design of the things that is within that country or that place compared to snapping photos. Of course, sketching takes longer time, but in that way also it sort of forces me to slow down the pace, which I eventually grew to like.
Okay.
Mm. So next one, what you see here is actually a black marker with a wash of watercolor. So this is a trip to Bangkok. I spent actually 2 weeks there, and basically the whole idea is just to walk around and draw whatever that I think is interesting. Okay, so you can see on the extreme left, the left hand side, those are boxes. And you see there are two pages there. There are letterboxes made of metal, made of wood, even made of corrugated board. One morning I walked out of my hotel and I decided to just draw letterboxes. And it's fun. It's very fun because until I did that, I didn't realize that there are so many types of letterboxes. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. And something that I also enjoy is to get very detailed. You see the one on the top left, the green letterbox,
Mm.
and it has Thai words on it. I was curious enough to write everything that I see on the letterbox. And one of my Thai friends who saw my drawing said, every single Thai word is correct.
Wow.
Wow.
So it was fun. It was a very fun trip. And some mornings when I go out, I give myself a theme. Like I'm going to draw elephants. So I'll draw elephant statues, elephant keychains, elephant logos, elephant whatever. And my whole day is just about elephants. Yeah. Mm.
Oh.
And the one on the top right is actually a little barber shop that I saw at Soi Ari. And I asked the owner if I could go in and just capo and draw whatever I see. He was nice enough to say yes. In fact, what you see there is only half a page. The other half is actually a full spread. You can't see the right hand page is not there.
Okay.
So after drawing and coloring, I brought it back to Singapore. I did a little bit more details on the spread. And what I did was I printed it out, framed it up, and in my next trip to Bangkok, I brought it all the way down to the barber shop and gave it to the owner.
Wow, that's so nice.
Wow.
It was
The
quite fun.
owner must be so appreciative.
Yeah.
He was pleasantly surprised because he wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, so these are some of the Bangkok sketches. Yes, some more Bangkok sketches. Like you see the one on the top left and right, they are all food. So I will just walk around and look at what are the kind of food I want to draw. The one on the bottom left is all about numbers. So so it's the price of a chicken wing or some numbers that's clipped to a board or whatever. So I'll just draw them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How could you concentrate on drawing when looking at food?
It's not easy. Yeah, but it's also nice. Sometimes when you're drawing, people are curious. They stand around. Sometimes, and that I find that is also a good chance to talk to locals.
That's true.
So the drawing can be an icebreaker.
Yes.
Mm. So this is Shanghai.
Shanghai.
So for Shanghai, actually, I visited a friend who's working there, and what I do is I'll just pack my kit, my watercolor and my sketch kit, and I'll go out and walk, adventure, go into the street, into the streets and draw whatever I like. And the nice part is sometimes I will meet up with my friend or my friends for lunch, and then after that we'll go out separate ways, and then I continue roaming the streets again, and the parks and all that. You can see on the right hand page, the vertical page, that is actually a cricket shop that I walked in to.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what they sell is crickets. As you can see from the top right corner, there's a little cricket inside a container. And they also sell many boxes and different cages for crickets.
Mm.
Yeah. So, of course, every time when I walk into a shop and I want to draw, I will ask the owner if it's okay. And more often than not, they are more than happy to let you, walk around the shop and draw. And I also try to strike up a conversation with the owner, because that's the best way to find out about what they're selling, and it's a good place also for me to be curious and find out more about that place, and ask him about his profession and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are also those sketches here and there, venturing into the Nong Tang, the little streets. And again, when you're drawing, there is no right or wrong about it. Whatever catches your fancy, whatever you want to draw, and that is very
Mm.
fun, because there's no, there's no like rules like, oh, you can't draw a tampui. What do you call a tampui? Tampui is what? What do you say? Potty.
Potty,
Yeah.
yes, potty.
Right. So, as you can see on the right page, top right, there is a potty that is by the back door of someone's house. So, so I thought it was quite curious. Just before the lady washed this potty, I saw her washing the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it weighed 5 kg. Yikes.
I think the lady was wondering like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Coffee.
So it's like when you do a sketch trip, it doesn't just have to be just drawings. It can be also words. It can also it's like a diary with images.
A bit like a written or drawing travelogue.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
and it's very fun because again, what you write in there is entirely up to you. It can even be how you feel that day, or when you're drawing something, it reminds you of somebody, or a time in your life, and so you can write about that. And basically, a sketchbook really, really is a place where you can totally be yourself, draw whatever you like, and write whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So this one on the left hand page is actually a guangchang, right? So it's like a square, and I still remember it's a bit chilly, so you can see all these uncles, aunties, they are suitably dressed for the weather, and I drew them. I don't really like to draw people, because they move a lot and it's very hard to draw, and you really need to draw really fast. But because the weather is very cold and uncle auntie are just sitting there, they're not really moving. So so they make for very good subjects lah, because they don't move a lot. So and also while sketching, I find that it is not a very intrusive thing compared to taking photos.
True. True
Yeah,
that.
because
Yes.
when you take photo, when you bring out your phone or your camera, sometimes they will turn away or they walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we also don't like our photos to be taken by strangers,
Yes.
But when you're sketching, it's not as intrusive. And also, well, the trick I learned is while you're sketching someone, you don't have to sit facing them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
So I could be facing three-quarter away from them,
Mm.
but once in a while I just look in that direction to draw. So it's not so intimidating.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
More often than not, they are okay with it.
I see. Good,
Yeah.
good tip there.
This is a very fun trip to Ho Chi Minh City. Actually, this was inspired by the movie Mitty. Do you know this movie called Mitty by Ben Stiller?
No, I don't know.
Uh,
No.
Basically, okay, to cut the story short is Mitty is actually a story about this character which Ben Stiller plays. He reached a point in his life where he needs a big change, right? So he needs to change his career. He need to turn his life around. Midlife crisis. So he started doing things that are very different that he's never done before. He took up challenges. So after watching the movie, I had uh, wow, I feel really inspired, you know. So I told myself I'm going to go to a place I have never been before.
Mm.
And at that time, I could only afford like a 5 or 6 days, including the weekend. So I picked Ho Chi Minh City. I've never been before, and upon arrival, the first place I went to after checking in my hotel, of course, I went to their local post office, and I bought envelopes and
Okay.
stamps
Mm.
that I can send the envelopes back to Singapore, to myself in Singapore. So I told myself every day I'm going to fill up the front of the envelope with
Uh-huh.
drawings of what I see that day and then mail it back to myself.
Oh,
Oh, that's a nice way. Instead
Yeah,
of buying postcard,
yes.
you actually send your own postcard, no? Hand-drawn
right.
postcard back to yourself.
Right. I have friends who said, next time when I go for holiday, can I draw and send to them instead?
I would love to receive one too.
Okay, so you got one more. The screen is not showing the image anymore.
Yes, yes. I think something went wrong and maybe will come back
Yeah,
soon.
Okay.
I'm,
Yeah.
hold on, give me a moment.
Sometimes it does happen,
Right.
especially nowadays when more people are working from home. We are
Mm.
experiencing a lot of connectivity, low internet, with band
Right.
throughout the whole day. Yeah, yeah. Okay, she's
Okay.
back. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you can see even for the name, you can see I try to write a different name on every different envelope.
Mm.
Uh, the address is my old address, and so it's very fun. So every day I will fill up one envelope and then send it to myself. And what happens is this is something I've never done before. The place I've never been before, and buying envelopes, drawing on them, sending back to myself, I've never done before. So I feel that sketch strips can be fun because there are so many ways you can do it. The possibilities are endless.
Mm.
And the other thing I want to talk about is you can see on the extreme left, the top left corner, that drawing is actually Vietnamese dong,
Mm. The currency.
the currency, yes. So I realized that when I drew the currency, I start to register the different details that is on the currency. And I'm very capable, so I'll ask my Vietnamese friends, why is there this? Why is this a design motif? Why does it look like a flower? Why is this feature on your notes?
Mm-hmm.
I find that this is also one way of knowing a country,
Agree.
That's
right?
true.
Yeah, I know. You know, when we travel, we change to the currency, but the main function of the money is for us to buy things, right? But we
Yes.
hardly register what's on the note.
Yes.
Like right now, if I ask you, what is on a Taiwanese note, we probably know. Okay, lah. There's some character on it, some probably a important person or someone is relevant to the history. But other than that, we don't know what are the other elements that's on it.
True, we don't even have to think about foreign currency. What about our own Singapore dollars currency? I don't think we even take a good look at
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
That's true. Let's
Yeah,
do
Ah,
the
a
only thing I
quiz.
register is the numbers on the currency.
The number is the most important thing, right?
ah, yeah. Now you're telling me I'm taking out a $2 note and take a good look because you know there is a character there, and if I mean probably a little bit more, you know that is our first president Yusof Ishak. Did I get it correctly? And
Yes.
then what about the rest? The back of the note.
Mm,
What about the other little details? Have we ever really take a good look at the things around us? Even
right.
simple.
Yeah.
Right. And from a design perspective, those elements that's on a currency would be relevant to the country.
Mm,
You know what I
Mm.
mean? I mean, it has to be very relevant to the country. Even the little patterns and little icons in the
True.
background uh, will make sense to that country that it belongs to.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So this is a trip to Taipei. Actually, I spent quite long in Taipei. So I think I spent 3 weeks in Taipei.
Wow.
What's fun about it is um, for this trip, I decided to use colors as well. So like you see the one on the left is actually a corner of a street. And I was actually quite amused by the number of things, the variety of signages, from 汉堡包, hamburger, to beef steak, to vegetarian food, to what else?
花店.
花店, florist, 三文治, right? 三文治. And then there's also, I think, laundry service and all that. So I was actually quite fascinated that at one place, is advertising so many kinds of services and F&B outlets. So, and I stood there to draw this corner. And it's really fun because, again, when you observe the details, I start to appreciate the font that they use,
Mm.
because my eyes need to go to every single detail of the signage. So I realized, oh, the signage, the font that they use, uh, oh, it's like this, or they always drop shadow on the right hand side or at the bottom. Things like that you discover as your eyes cruises through,
Mm,
the subject itself. So I find it very interesting.
Mm.
And there's also like maybe the one at the top right hand side is actually a place where I went to eat my 饺子. Then they have like a little, what do you call that? Like a
Tray. Ah.
little menu menu thing where
Ah.
you can tick your orders,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And then there's this uncle who is sitting nearby, and enjoying his food. The thing with drawing people is you need to draw quite fast because otherwise, when he finishes his noodle, he's going to get up and go.
yes.
And you can't go to him and say, Uncle, you don't mind you sit there for another 20 minutes. I haven't finished yet. So yeah, okay. So this is also yeah, more sketches from Taipei. As you can see, the top left hand corner is signages and advertising banners and all that.
They look like a
Um,
槟榔妹 eh. No why?
looks like it. I don't know what is in advertising. I can't see the words.
Scantily clad woman.
Scantily clad woman. Yes, yes, yes. And on the top right hand side is actually a trip that I took to Wulai, which is at the outskirts of Taipei.
Mm,
Very nice. So we had, my friend brought me there. We had yu char kueh with almond tea, and they have the 竹筒饭, which is actually rice that is cooked within a bamboo,
Ah.
and things like that. So it's really nice. And now when I look back at all these drawings, I can remember at the place where I drew these things, like vividly. Because maybe you need to pay attention to all the details, so you absorb the moment like more.
True
Yeah,
that. True
yeah. And
that.
the bottom left image is actually something I drew from a one night stay at Miaoli, which is in the mountains. So the nice thing about doing sketch trip, especially when we go with friends, is that if you wake up early, you can have a few hours to do your own drawings. So I actually walked around the Mingsu and drew some of the things I saw. Mm. The
Okay.
one on the right is actually just walking around, and can you see the bottom right image where there's blue, red, green, the signage.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually choices of 豆花. So
Oh,
they have 传统黄豆花、青仁黑豆花，
Wow, hate interesting.
有素生豆花、双色豆花、
okay.
鸡蛋 pudding and all that. So I put there choices. I said an undecisive person's nightmare.
One
That's
of
so
each.
true.
Right. And yeah,
Yeah, I
that's a
think
sample, of some of the sketches.
Yeah, it is very detailed, and it was because it is so detailed that it actually makes you study the object or study the environment even more vividly. And
Mm.
it is a very unique way of capturing the moments, and all this memory will stay with you for a very long time.
yeah, that's
Indeed.
true.
Yeah.
I think just now when you mentioned about, it's because you are drawing, right? You really spend time to observe the surroundings. So when you look back at the drawing, you can remember back the exact moment when you are there. I think
Yes.
that's so true because recently I was just sorting through photos,
Mm-hmm.
old photo albums, right? Then I
Mm-hmm.
realized a lot of pictures, I don't even know what's the meaning of that picture. It became like quite useless to me. I just like, okay, this scenery, at that moment, maybe you think it's very nice, lah, but many years later, when you look back, suddenly you just cannot remember what's so
Right.
special about that
They
picture.
become a little bit meaningless.
Right.
Yeah,
I
correct.
guess also because of the iPhone and how it actually serves as a camera for many of us, so it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a very convenient way to capture images when we travel.
Yes.
I guess if let's say you get someone to draw,
Mm.
the initial few drawings they might feel a bit frustrated because they need to slow down.
Mm.
So for one image that they draw and color, they could have taken 100 photos.
True,
Yeah.
true. For the same length of time spent.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes on the trip, we do not have that much time to draw. So typically, do you have to spend hours at one time to sketch the memories?
Mm. So again, it's actually a very flexible thing. I tell you why. First of all, maybe okay, what you draw really depends on how much time you have, right? So if let's say I wake up in the morning and my friends are still sleeping, I can go to the restaurant and have my breakfast, right? And let's say I know I only have 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
before they join me.
Mm-hmm.
I can draw something that is going to take only 15 minutes. So I won't draw my whole plate of buffet food because that will take longer than 15 minutes, right? So I might just draw something small. So you need to know your own capability and you need to know how complicated the subject is. But it
Mm.
comes with experience. But having said that, also I find that if you really want to do a uninterrupted sketch trip, the best way, of course, travel alone.
Mm.
Yeah. Or you can travel with someone who has the same intention as you. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
if you travel with people who don't do sketch trip, then you need to have the conversation with them that there will be times in the day where you'll be doing your own thing and they can
Mm.
do their own thing.
Mm.
And I've done trips like this before also.
Mm-hmm.
So we leave the hotel after breakfast. Then I'll tell them, hey guys, I'm just going to walk around and sketch. You guys do your thing. and then I'll meet you all back in a hotel or in another place to have lunch. Yeah. So, but this has to be agreed upon before the trip.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I always have like the impression that, artists, right? I mean, those who draw, you must be born with a talent. Because my elder sister and my nephew, they are very good at drawing, but I don't recall them actually attending art classes.
Mm.
Yeah, so it kind of reaffirmed my belief lah, that you have to be born with artistic talent, and somehow that intimidates me to even start trying.
I think talent plays a part. I mean, now if we talk about drawing, right? Okay, if you have the talent, um, and with training and guidance, I think you can go quite far. But I also believe that if let's say you don't really have that talent, but if you're interested with proper training and guidance, you can go quite far as well.
Mm.
And this would go with same with sports and music.
I always like art and music, but I find I have no talent in both.
Okay, I give you an example. Say if let's say you want to draw in terms of grade, right? You want to draw like up to a grade of 9 out of 10, right? If let's say you want to do a drawing that is 9 out of 10, you would need more training and practice compared to someone who is quite talented in it,
Mm.
right? But the important thing is both of you can get to 9 out of 10.
Oh.
But
Okay.
having said that, also someone who is very talented who doesn't practice may not get to 9 as well. So
Okay.
it's also very. But the thing with art is also very tricky. I always tell my students, especially my senior students, for I can only speak for Singaporeans, right?
Mm.
When we were growing up, our art teachers, our art teachers were like our math teachers, or like, you know what I mean, right? They are like our science teacher. They cannot arrow to do art, right? So I always tell my senior students, I said, see, when you all did your art in primary school, your art teachers were not really trained. What I heard now is MOE art teachers now are art teachers are trained. MOE actually send them to some courses lah. So they won't be like your English teacher look and arrow then teach, right? So what they do is they'll put the banana in the middle of the class, then they say draw. Right?
Yeah.
Then draw what? You never teach us proportion, you never teach us tonal values, lighting, things like that. So I always tell my senior student, they're all like 50s and 60s onwards, right? I say, you see, you all go through this experience where you were not really taught art properly, and then you all are convinced, because of that, you all are now convinced that you can't draw.
Yes, I am.
But
I am. I'm convinced myself I can't
right.
draw.
So to be fair, how could you convince yourself that you can't draw when you were not even taught how to draw properly? Right? So I tell my senior students, 40, 50 years later, these kids appear in my class. Right? Right? And then they say, I can't draw, I can't draw, I can't draw. I say, no, it's not that you can't draw, but you haven't been taught properly. So in my art class, I actually teach them really, really from scratch. Like, okay, we start with lines first. Then we continue with shapes. Then we talk about proportion. Then we talk about tonal values. Then we talk about lighting. Then we talk about textures. Then we talk about color theory. It's really 真的是 like from kindergarten teach this. Because this foundation is very important. Right? It's like music, right? You need to learn your do re mi first.
Yes.
Then you need to know your chords. Then you
Yes.
need to learn how to read your tau ge.
Yes.
And all that, right? Yeah, you need to do that first.
Okay.
Mm.
So you have some student artwork here. Maybe you
Mm.
just share with everybody.
Right, so I teach basic drawing pencil and basic color pencil, also basic watercolor and watercolor landscape. So what you see here is actually color pencil. So these students have done my basic drawing class. So like what I mentioned to you earlier, they would have their foundation ironed up. You can see from these drawings, the students' foundations are actually strong already, quite strong.
Yeah.
Because when you introduce colors, that is a different thing altogether,
Okay,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So I always remind my students, I said, when you're doing your foundation in drawing, it's like the foundation of a building, right? It's all the pillars that goes into the ground,
Mm.
and it's boring stuff, right? But you need it because once your foundation is very strong, later the building, whether you want to build a community center, you want to build a shopping mall or a condo or whatever, you can because your foundation is strong. So don't skip the foundation because the coloring, of course, is more interesting, right? But
Definitely.
yeah. So when they're doing their foundation, they always ask me, "Hey, when are we going to start coloring? When are you going to?" I said, "Don't worry first. When you sort out your foundation, like you see these students here, they are different students. The one on the left and those on the right. I told them, I said, if you can do this for your color pencil, when you go and learn oil painting,
Mm.
I guarantee you will do well
Mm.
because the foundation is already very strong. Of course, there are new things that you need to learn for oil, right? The
Mm-hmm.
way you paint is different and now it's on the canvas, it's not on paper, so you need to adapt. But what I mean is the foundation is already very strong. So it's very hard. They will not do badly for oil painting or for that matter any other medium.
Mm.
So the foundation is very important.
Okay.
Mm. So same thing. This is also color pencil.
Oh, very
Um,
vibrant are the colors.
Yes.
so you can see these two drawings are done by different students. We also try to tackle different textures. So you can see the one on the left is a bit softer, look more frail,
Mm.
fragile.
Mm.
Then on the right is a bit rougher, so they also learn different coloring techniques to achieve different textures.
Okay.
The one on the right is by this student Serene. I will never forget her because she came to me on the first session. She raised her hand and she said, Kuan Eng, I think I'm going to be your toughest student today. I said, why? She said, I have never drawn in my life before. So I'm going to give you big headache. Then I told her, I said, don't worry, you just follow the class and you quite do the homework that I give you. Step by step, you will get there.
Mm.
And this is lesson 10 of a 12 session workshop.
You mean you can draw online after 10 session?
Mm.
Oh,
This is
very
lesson 10.
impressive.
It's
Yeah.
not easy. You look at the
Yeah.
pineapple, there is so much detail, 很多
Yes.
层次 in there, you
Right.
know. It's
Right.
not easy to capture every teeth of
Yes.
that pineapple.
But if you break it down to the different components of drawing, as in, at first you don't worry about color and texture yet, you
Mm.
just focus on proportion first,
Mm.
and then step by step, uh, it, I know it looks very hard, right?
Yeah.
But it's not that difficult.
Okay.
But you need to
Mm.
know the basics.
Okay, first you must know the basics. Second, you also must know the trick.
Yes. And also you need to practice. I mean, that one you can't escape,
Mm. I
right?
think it's remarkable. You just need 10 weeks, 10 weeks of a commitment, diligently also doing the homework that is given to you. And then end result, you can draw such a nice online.
Yes, and also and when you're able to draw already, it's such a good skill to have because back to COVID-19, my students because all stuck at home, right?
Yes.
My ex-students, that's the best chance to draw. So they have been drawing and posting in Facebook and all that, which is great because it's such a good opportunity to practice,
Mm-hmm.
and also drawing can be very therapeutic, lah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So this one you are looking at is actually watercolor landscape.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually the whole class work. Everybody contributed their drawing. So again, for landscape, what you need to learn is perspective drawing, 1 point, 2 point perspective, aerial perspective, and all that. Techniques and skills and knowledge that is more specific to landscape drawing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So this is an example of their trip to National Museum. So I encourage them to sit there, draw and color and finish everything within 2.5 hours.
Okay.
But also I give them the leeway to take a photo. If they can't finish, to take a photo and go home and refer to it and touch up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not so stressful for them lah.
Yes.
Yeah. So and this is what I do for some drawings that you saw earlier on. When let's say weather doesn't permit or it's the street is too crowded, sometimes I will draw the outline and some details. Then I take a photo reference for colors. Then I'll go to a cafe, order myself a nice latte and a muffin, and then I'll just color and have my tea break, which is also makes the trip a lot more fun.
Is this a graduation piece after 12 lessons?
This one is 8 lessons. So this is at lesson 7. But having said that, these students finish my basic pencil, basic color pencil, and then they do this.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Wow, just normal 7 lessons you can achieve that is like amazing, you know.
Actually, yeah, I mean, okay, I mean it's a balance, right? Because I was also thinking now last time in Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts, if you chose Fine Arts, it's a 3-year course, full-time course, right? So I also remind my students that if it's so easy to okay, I give you an example. Let's say the one that we see on the left-hand side, that tree in front of the museum. If let's say a student just needs 5 lessons to draw this way, I always tell them, then on the street 满街都是 artists 了 right? Right. So you still need a fair amount of time and commitment to practice before you get somewhere. I always give the example of NBA basketball players, right? You see, look at them like, how come every ball they throw, everyone go in one how
Yes.
yeah, right. But what we don't see are the countless hours that they practice. Right, we don't see that. We only see them on court.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I encourage my students to practice. Don't see it as like a, I still have to practice some more because, yeah, but it's a way of getting to where you want your standard to be.
That's true.
Yes. That is always this saying what? 台上1分钟，台下10年功。
Yes, and the 10年功 people usually don't see, don't get to see. I was reading about Jeremy Lin, this basketball player.
Yes.
About his like they did an interview and they did like a day in the life of Jeremy Lin. I tell you, 4 a.m. he woke up to go to the basketball court and
Practice. Yes.
Yeah, and just purely tolan for 2 hours, and then he comes home, take a short nap, then breakfast, and then continue. And his day is just mostly filled with practice.
Yeah.
But we don't see that, is it?
Yeah, we don't see that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't see their blood. We don't see their sweat, their
Yeah,
tears.
tears. Yeah.
The commitment, right?
Yes,
Even
that's true.
Joseph Schooling, my friend was telling me, he's a swimming instructor for kids. He said after Joseph Schooling won the gold medal, he said, "Wow, he got so many calls from parents say, I want my son to be like Joseph Schooling. Can you know?" But we don't see. I mean, we only see that 50 over seconds, and we see him going on stage to get the medal, but we don't see the
sacrifices he made, he and his family and all.
And his family,
Yes.
I
Yes.
read about how his parents drive him to the pool.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, and it's really very inspiring to learn that, your students, right, only learn how to pick up art in their silver age. And it's the thing is so true, 活到老学到老. One is never too old to learn. So
Right.
maybe it's time, I should stop procrastinating and start picking up the pencil and start somewhere.
Actually, yes, indeed. No, learning never stops, and we should continue to pursue what interests us. So, usually, as beginner, what would you get your student to start to draw with?
I think for the first few drawing, it's just drawing things that simple shades that allow you to brush up on your confidence in your strokes and proportion. Don't attempt things that are too difficult because it can be very discouraging, you know. So and I also encourage anyone who's keen to learn drawing is uh, try to look for courses that really focus on strengthening your foundation instead of allowing you to draw something within like 3 lessons. I mean, there are courses out there where it teaches you how to like draw a flower in two or 3 lessons. You can actually memorize how to draw that flower, but you may not understand it from the foundation kind of perspective. You know what I mean, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah. So and also remember that if you want to learn, you need to prep yourself that you need a lot of practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, Kuan Eng, are you going to show us something?
Yeah.
Show us
I
how
can.
to sketch something to impress us, so that we will sign up for your art classes.
Yeah.
What I can do is do a simple drawing of a cup. Maybe I've been drinking from this cup. So
Okay.
I can draw a simple cup. Let me get ready. Yeah.
Okay.
So while you get ready, we will just look at what kind of students we have today. We have
We have another zero talent artist here, Joanna.
Who is zero talent?
One of our cyclists, she is like us. She got zero artistic talents, and she says she
she
only know how to draw what?
men, houses, trees, and the sun.
Okay.
Not bad. Oh, can draw trees.
Jason. Jason says that Guan Ling, you look familiar.
Oh.
Yeah, Jason is also in the advertising line, so maybe you all have crossed paths in the
Possible.
past.
Maybe.
Possible.
So, we have a potential student for you, Miss Kenny Liu. She's
Okay.
asking whether do you conduct art virtual class, and then she wants to sign up for your class.
Oh, okay. So you can give her my email.
Okay.
Do you now currently conduct virtual classes?
Virtual classes, yes. But actually, between virtual and face to face would be a bit more effective. But currently, I have a few Zoom art classes.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is my watercolor kit. I don't know whether you can see.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a water brush, which is 很好用.
How come
Then
now the brushes are all like that?
yes.
Oh,
So I don't know whether hope you can see, yeah.
Yes, we can see.
So I'm going to draw this glass.
Okay.
So first is to do a simple
Oval shape.
oval shape. Can see or not?
can.
Maybe you have to move the notebook up a bit.
Yeah, for the
Yes. Yes. You need to have very steady hands also.
Okay lah. So you can see that I have done a very simple drawing. You can see, right?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know whether you notice that the style that I draw in my sketchbook actually is actually black outline and then I do a wash.
What is a wash?
A watercolor wash.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. So I've done a simple one. Then now the other thing about what we talk about the fundamentals, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see that 你看我的杯子啊, the light is coming from this side.
Yes.
Yes.
From the window. So you can see here is brighter. Here is brighter. Here is darker.
Correct.
Yes.
Huh? So when I do my watercolor wash that time, I have to keep in mind that so that the whole cup will look more 立体感, 有立体感, more 3D.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm mixing the color. Maybe I should put here. Then
We can't see the picture.
picture here.
Yes.
Okay.
Can see now. Okay.
Ah.
So I'm going to give the cup a bit of depth. So I look upside down.
Maybe you have to push the notebook nearer to
Up
the
a
cup.
bit,
Yeah, up a bit.
this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the part with no light will have to be darker.
Yes. So example, this here. So can you see
Yes.
your right hand side is a bit lighter, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Let me prop it up so you can see like this. Can see better, right?
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to increase. Can see.
Make it darker.
Actually, you need a lot of patience, right? To slowly go through layer by layer.
Okay lah. Okay, so let me. I don't have the habit of talking and painting, but I'll try. Typical man cannot multitask.
Usually men cannot multitask.
Yeah, lor.
I don't know correct or not.
If when,
I should have the audience to tell us, is it
Yeah.
true?
is it correct? Some would disagree.
Yeah. So if I would to start out on this artistic journey, what would you recommend me to do first? Zero drawing talent.
Whose question is that?
Me, Cheryl.
Cheryl,
Zero talent.
First is to not try not to keep reminding yourself that you have no talent. So
Joanne.
start with the mindset that I can draw.
Oh, Joanna Tan heard that or not? We must convince ourselves we have talent.
Then subsequently sign up for courses that really get you to strengthen your build a good foundation.
So it's
That
more
would
like
help.
drawing foundation class.
Yes. Okay. Because to tell the truth, it's actually very tempting to sign up for courses that are don't really need you to strengthen your foundation and straight away go into drawing, because we are actually quite, generally being humans, we are quite, we want the outcome. We want to see the outcome.
We want the result fast.
We want the result, yes, as fast as possible, right? But with art, 真的, you cannot rush it. You cannot, no shortcut to it.
Okay. So it really teaches you patience.
Do you teach private art classes? Since
Yes.
most of us don't qualify for silver classes.
Yeah.
Just now you mentioned all your students are the 50s, no? That will take us time to get there.
Yes, I do. I do conduct private class. So actually, if let's say you are keen, right, you all can organize like a group of 5 or 6 or what lah, then learn together, lor.
Okay. So far, have you bring any of your students on overseas sketch trip?
Yes, we have done a sketch trip to Penang and Malacca.
Okay, yeah, they are very rich and then a lot of things to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very fun because we, of course, not just sketch, but we also go and eat lah, shop a bit
Yeah,
lah.
definitely. It's a whole package thing of holiday.
Right. So you can see now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I try to get a good sense of the lighting, which you can see. Uh, Here is brighter, here is darker.
Yes.
Mm.
Then the inside is 倒反, here is darker,
Correct.
then here is lighter.
Lighter.
So I try to get a good sense of.
Immediately the picture looks 3D. Yeah.
It looks a bit
It
3D
looks a
already,
bit
right?
3D.
Yeah. So once you follow the lighting, you are halfway there. Okay.
Oh.
So now I need to wait for these guys to dry because if I add on to it, it will merge. It will actually everything merge together.
Okay.
Okay.
Then what else? I need to add the tea. So the tea is a bit greenish yellow. So I have colors here.
I'm interested in the brush.
Yeah. Looks like
Water brush.
Never seen in my life before, because during our art classes donkey years ago, you still need a cup of water to wet the
Right.
brush.
Right. This water brush is a fairly new invention.
Mm-hmm.
Actually by Japanese.
Okay.
很好用.
Uh,
Yeah, because when you travel, you want to travel light.
true.
So,
So the water comes, you fill it up with water lah inside.
that's right.
inside the pan. Oh,
Mm.
see, so interesting.
Yeah.
Then you're going to fill up with green tea.
Green tea is a bit actually more brownish than green. Maybe is there any question from the group that I can answer as I'm painting?
No, but I think Colleen, don't know whether you know Colleen Go.
I think she knows you.
Yeah, it seems like she knows you.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Got picture now.
You have to see Facebook later.
Yes. She worked in real estate.
Oh, is it? Can see it now.
Hey, that's nice.
Right?
Mm.
So now, let me.
I'm very curious how you're going to draw the lines in there, because now the whole cup that we are looking at looks a bit grayish.
Mm.
Mm.
So now I'm going to draw the lines. The lines just I can okay. So the thing with doing for sketch trip is also it doesn't need to always be all watercolor. It can also be a mix of watercolor with marker or with color pencils.
Oh,
So it actually makes it even more fun.
okay.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is the lines I'm going to uh, uh, use color pencil to draw.
Okay.
Okay.
Colleen says she is your ex-colleague from advertising.
Oh dear.
Colleen Go. You better remember her. You better remember her. She's listening to you now.
Yeah.
Can she drop me a message in Facebook so that we can get reconnected? Are
Yes,
you listening to me,
she
Colleen?
is.
Is it?
I think she is. Colleen.
Yeah.
She is. Any hints, Colleen, to remind Kuan Eng?
Have we worked together as in?
I guess probably because you have been in an advertising for 12 years.
Mm. Now what I'm doing is I'm using color pencil
To draw the lines.
to draw the lines.
Okay. I don't think I can ever achieve such a straight line.
Yeah, very stable when you draw.
That's why Kuan Eng say foundations help.
Yeah.
Yeah, foundation help really.
Now you are using a black pencil?
I'm using a very dark blue
Dark blue
pencil
pencil, okay.
for this side of the line because it is on the darker side of the cup.
Okay.
So in terms of foundation, that means you need to understand the lighting angle and let's see.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I'm wondering why are you using blue color pencil rather than black color pencil? Because the line on the cup that we see here is it blue or black?
It's blue.
Oh, it's blue, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. So then maybe the last part is just adding the shadow. So
Okay, to show where the light is coming from.
yes,
Mm.
well, if it's not by drawing, right, I think I wouldn't be noticing all these details.
True, true. Because it force you to focus.
Yeah.
Then you will realize the little details.
Hmm.
Oh, and you'll remember better.
you see,
Mm.
Yeah.
the paper is a little bit crumpled, so but you get the idea.
Mm. Ooh.
It's nice. Even the shadow has.
You see, no?
Yes, even
Yeah.
shadow 也有层次感。
Yeah. Lor.
Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Okay.
Can.
Can.
Yes.
So let me see. Okay. So now I'm going to show you it's something like that. I don't see you anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
we will
Wait.
come back later. When we are back.
We are correct now.
Something like that. Something like that lah. The paper is a little bit crinkled, so you will see it's a bit warped.
Mm.
Later I'm going to use like a few hooks to stack over it to make it flat.
Okay. I think it's because
Yeah.
it's still wet, is it? That's why
Yeah.
the paper is a bit crinkled.
Yeah, it's still wet.
Mm.
Oh.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that's so nice.
Thank you.
3D.
3D, yes. Yes. It seems easy when Kuan Eng draw, but I think it probably have to take us a while.
I think it's easy because he has been practicing for so many years.
Mm.
Yeah. So with practice, everything will over time will become easier lah.
And
Yes.
also like in class also I remind my students, I say when I demonstrate something for you, I have been demonstrating this for every class for the last 7 years.
Mm.
Of course it's going to look effortless.
Mm.
Right? And then because they are going to do it for the first time, then they'll be like, why you do that time like so simple, then why you all cannot? I said, because you're only doing it for the first time. Try doing it 50 times, then tell me the 50th time, is it easier than your first time? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, same for music, same for sports.
True.
True.
True. Practice makes perfect. It goes
Yeah.
down back to practice.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
Thank you very much for the demonstration, Kuan
You're most
Eng.
welcome.
So to our audience, if you have any questions you would like to ask Kuan Eng, please put it into the comments so that we have Kuan Eng to answer them.
Yeah.
So Kuan Eng,
So
you can look from the comments. You see Colleen's remark where you used to work together.
Where's the comment? So blur.
She says you all used to work in Wonderman.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was where I was from.
Oh, so now you can remember her.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
okay.
So we today have actually quite a lot of people from advertising logging in also. Yeah, that's why they all find you very familiar because 12 years is not really a short time.
Right.
Yeah.
My colleague was like, once upon a time at Wonderman.
Long, long time
Long time
ago.
ago. That was the 90s.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
let's get that, okay?
Okay. Yeah, regarding about drawing, so whenever you travel, because if you are at some places where you can only stand and draw, I reckon you can't have your watercolors with you.
Mm, yeah, so you probably need to. Well, sometimes if I want to color on the streets, I will sit at the like on a curb or something. Mm. Or sometimes I find a cafe where it allows me to sit at a nice spot where I look up and I can, draw something.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
so it can be
Okay.
quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the present moment now, how can people sign up for your classes? Where can
Uh,
they go?
if if they are 50 and above, they can actually approach Fei Yue, where I'm conducting all the senior classes.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then they can email me at kokuaneng@gmail.com or message me in Facebook, Kuan Eng, my Facebook name. And then we can arrange. Currently I have a mother and daughter pair that I'm teaching. I'm also teaching a secondary school girl. And also, there are some where they gather like 4 friends or 6 friends, and
Mm.
then I conduct like once a week every Saturday.
Okay.
Mm.
What
So
is
we can
the
arrange that.
maximum group size?
I try not to go over 8 students because I think the ratio is very important. Because I
Okay.
also want to guide and review your work every week.
Okay.
Uh,
Ah,
All right. How long
that's
is
why
your lesson?
my lessons usually between 2 and 2.5 hours. I think the important thing you need to take note when you are doing art lesson, number one is to look for the content of the course,
Mm.
right? The other thing is also to pay attention to the student teacher ratio because
Mm-hmm.
if it's 1:30, it's also very hard for the teacher to look at your work and say what are the things that you've done right and what are the areas of improvement.
Mm. You
true.
won't
Yeah.
really specifically have quality one-to-one time with the teacher if the group is too big because there's just so
Yes.
many students to handle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's very satisfying for me for my senior class is that where especially students who take my comments into consideration and then they improve on that,
Mm.
you can see in the next piece of homework, it's better. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Then week by week, it just gets better and better and better. And that is very satisfying for me because that means you're think, that means
Ah,
you're take into the review.
ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jason asked if any chance you have worked in, maybe can you pronounce the advertising company?
You
I
cannot.
couldn't get that.
Ogilvy, yeah. Ogilvy.
No, I've never worked in Ogilvy before.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Jason,
it's my twin brother.
Jason is still trying to figure out where he have known you.
What's Jason's surname?
Chua, Chua.
Maybe Jason knows Tai Heng because there's this guy in advertising who we kind of look like brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I think that's about it for
Mm.
today in terms of the comments and all that. So before we end today's chapter, I would just like to share with you about our virtual travel talk this Friday. We will be inviting no one to share any destination because it will be just Cheryl. We are going to share with you some of our trip experiences and why you will get the hook of it after the first try of active holidays. So tune in to our Facebook page, Travel Wonder Facebook at 8:30 p.m. this Friday to hear all about it live. We'll release more details later via our Facebook events page tomorrow morning.
This session will be rebroadcasted and you can find it on our Facebook page later. If you enjoyed today's chatter, don't forget to give us many likes, leave a comment, and share the broadcast. Remember, we have a Universal luggage belt to be worn. Looks like this. Contest will close this Friday, so you can continue to comment or share our post with your friends and family. Once again, a very big thank you to Kuan Eng for your time sharing with us about Sketch. Let's
Thank
take a
you.
group photo before we log off.
Yes. Okay, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Queen.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hope you
Very
have a
fun.
nice evening.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.